Hey everyone. Hey. Say hi, girls. Yep, obligatory close-up of the rats again. Alright. Okay, I skipped out on posting reviews of some of the other big movies this year. Battleship, Prometheus, Ted. So I might as well make sure the two I saw recently, I just talk about my opinions for them real quick. First, the Silent Hill sequel. Yeah, the original was one of the few good video game movies, but so was Mortal Kombat. And the sequel to that one still lives in infamy. Does Silent Hill suffer a similar nosedive of AVP Requiem proportions? No, not really. I will say, however, it's definitely inferior to the original, which replicated the subtle way the games make the town of Silent Hill chilling because of the atmosphere and the pacing. This one relies a bit too much on old horror movie cliches and cheap scares. Normally, I'd hold that against the Silent Hill movie, but I feel the folks behind this film did put effort into making this a treat for fans, and an interesting retelling of Silent Hill 3 in other ways. Hell, Travis Grady, the star of the prequel game, shows up for one thing. The fates of certain characters in this movie are also different from what happened in Silent Hill 3, so it's not a complete rehash of that game's plot. If anything, the filmmakers tried too hard to address the one big criticism with the original, ditching the mythos around Melissa Gillespie and turning it into a fable of witch burning and revenge from beyond. This one tries to skew it back to something more in line with the games. Was this necessary? I love the original despite some liberties taken, because the atmosphere of the games was translated flawlessly into film. Here, some of that was sacrificed to follow the game plots more closely. A gamble that didn't quite pay off. Not as good as the original Silent Hill, Mortal Kombat, and Mega Man, but a little something for video game fans and a decent night's entertainment. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Next, we have Denzel Washington in Flight. And this is a movie the industry needs to put out every so often. Not because of its message concerning substance abuse, but to remind everyone it's possible for films to hold your attention without stuff blowing up and flashy fight scenes busting out every 10 seconds. Coming back from this, my overriding thought was that this is one of those R-rated films that actually deserved to be called something for mature audiences. Other R-rated movies are overly flashy with the violence, blood, and sex, as if they're a child's idea of what an R-rated film should be. Demolition Man and Punisher Warzone? Anyone? Here, the nudity, swearing, and substance abuse problems all feel, well, natural, as if we're getting a glimpse of what actually happens in people's real lives instead of some showy spectacle for people wanting an adrenaline fix. It also works that most of the movies isn't about the spectacular crash landing. A good thing, since many physicists, engineers, and pilots have already pointed out the film's goofs. The big one, of course, is how putting out an engine fire shuts everything off and isolates the engine, rendering it inoperable. Some film critics said it was predictable and had a typical Hollywood ending. I didn't think so. The film kept tossing me surprises, keeping me guessing, and the ending was a bit of a surprise. And of course, Denzel Washington's acting kept everything moving, with some nice supporting performances like the coroner from Law & Order SVU, whose name I'm too lazy to look up. There were just so many little bits of subtle filmmaking brilliance, like the smoking scene in the hospital stairwell. And again, it helps negate the implausibility of the opening crash scene. So, before Hobbit hits, definitely give this gem a look. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10.